July 2025, Chelsea scouted a player in Germany who plays for Stuttgart. Very talented striker who was quoted for 80 million. Chelsea couldn't pay that amount of money. The world noticed that talent. Newcastle took a gamble and brought him over to Newcastle, brought him over to England, and today he scored 2 goals against Chelsea. Introducing Nick Voltimada. What a performance from him today. 2 goals against Chelsea was a very, very brilliant performance for Nick Voltimada. If you know how the Premier League is, if you know how Chelsea is playing against Newcastle, you would definitely know that this game was always going to be a difficult one. Very, very difficult, especially playing at the Newcastle Stadium. Chelsea was beaten last season where Nicholas Jackson was given a red card. Chelsea was beaten in that stadium. Arsenal barely survived in that stadium this season with a late winner for Arsenal to win 2-1. Liverpool barely survived in that stadium. It was a late goal from Ugooma who gave Liverpool a victory in that stadium. Manchester City was beaten in that stadium a few weeks ago. So it is never going to be an easy one for Chelsea to go over to Newcastle and pick up a victory. I am not making a case of Chelsea. I am telling you how difficult it is to go over to win at Newcastle. If you watched my preview last night, I said Chelsea is not going to win. I predicted a draw. So I already know that this game was that game that if Chelsea had won, it would be a surprise for me. But we need to give kudos to Newcastle, who took the game to Chelsea from the onset. Chelsea have this habit of not starting game well. Chelsea have this habit of starting game very, very slowly and very poorly. That is when Newcastle took an advantage in the first half. 2 goals from Nick Voltimada, first goal in the 3rd minute and also in the 15th minute or in the 13th minute. Newcastle got another goal. At that point, Newcastle was everywhere. At that point, it was looking like Newcastle had more players than even Chelsea. Chelsea was confused. The press was too much. The duels, Chelsea was not winning duels. Everything was going against Chelsea in the first half. This is a perfect example of this is a game of 2 halves. Newcastle took hold of the first half, then Chelsea came on into the second half and changed the game completely, took the game to Newcastle and finally got a point out of it. This game was that game that it was end-to-end for me. The first half, everything Chelsea threw at Newcastle, Newcastle gave Chelsea double. Every press of Chelsea, it now got to the point that Sanchez had to be forcing long balls because he couldn't hold the ball to start build up from the back. That was how difficult it is in the first half. Got on to Nick Voltimada, it was so much of his pressure, for Newcastle in the first half. Everything worked against Chelsea. But Chelsea came out in the second half a different team mentality. I don't know what Maresca said to these players in the first half, but they came out a different team mentality. What a free kick from Captain Fantastic Reece James, who got Chelsea back in the game, and Pedro, who also got the goal from for Chelsea with a very good assist from Sanchez. That is how you respond when you have a very bad game in the first half. It was a very tough game from all sides. There's a lot of talking points to talk about today, but this game Chelsea should have won the game. Chelsea lost so many chances from Garnacho, from Pedro Neto. Chelsea lost so many chances. Chelsea had everything it took when Chelsea had the momentum in the second half to go ahead to win this game. But it is what it is. I knew it was not going to be an easy one. I knew Chelsea would not win this game, but Chelsea needs to start game well. If Chelsea had started this game well, they wouldn't have gone 2 goals down in the first half, and they would have gotten something or finally won this game in the second half. But it is what it is. Chelsea drew this game, pick up a point against Newcastle. Do you know what you think about this game? And share your thoughts in the comment section. Now let's get into the talking point of today's game. We have a lot of things to talk about. Now in the first half, Maresca starts game slow. Chelsea starts game slow. Not just Maresca. The players. Chelsea came into this game, put Enzo Fernandez on the bench and played Reece James in the midfield. Now for Gusto, he's very good recently going forward, but defensively he's still lackluster. He's still lacking defensively, and he was one of the cause, or he was the cause of the first goal in the first half. Also Chalobah also in the first half. So when you have those series of mistakes, you cannot look to the bench and blame the coach. You have to look at the players. What are these players doing in the first half for them to start the game so slowly like that, and no trying to pick up themselves also in the first half. So it was a very, very difficult one. Chelsea conceded the first goal with a mistake in the first, and the second goal with a player. I don't know how Nick Voltimada ran into the Chelsea's defense and got that goal. At that moment, everything started going against Chelsea. The press, against Chelsea, everything. Chelsea could not win duels. It was a very, very difficult one for Chelsea in the first half. All balls were going long from Sanchez because Chelsea could not hold the ball in the first half anymore. Chelsea could not play that. Chelsea could not do nothing in the first half. It was so much against Chelsea in the second half. That was where everything changed. Now we have to give it to Maresca. Now, what are the first things, or what are the things we actually learned from this game? It seems Chelsea have a phobia for playing in the Newcastle Stadium. Last season, it was the same thing. The previous season, out of the last 4 games, Chelsea have just won once in that stadium out of the last 4 games. So you could see that once Chelsea are playing in that stadium, it is a different thing. It is a different case. It is a very difficult one. Chelsea could not withstand. Chelsea could not hold up, playing against Newcastle in that home. The midfield of Sandro Tonali, Guimaraes, and Jacob Ramsey was a difficult one for Chelsea. For Chelsea. And also, let's not forget that Newcastle are also missing some players through injury. So they couldn't have their complete squad. Louis Miley was playing on the right against a Garnacho. So you could see that they had so many injuries also in the squad, but Chelsea could not take advantage of that. Secondly, Chelsea are very slow to dwells, especially in the first half. Could not win duels at all. Chelsea was second to everything that Newcastle threw at them. But good, we saw a different Chelsea in the second half. Chelsea started winning duels. It became better in the second half, and that is what Chelsea fans want to see. That is what the team wants to see. And what a free kick from Reece James. See, Chelsea now have this thing, or this advantage, that we could get a goal from free kick, we could get a goal from corner kick, because Chelsea are not getting better when it comes to set piece. What a free kick from Reece James. That is one of what Chelsea have in their arsenals. Fantastic free kick from Reece James. He brought Chelsea into the game. He brought Chelsea with that free kick into the game, because trust me, Chelsea was losing so many chances in the game, and Chelsea just needed to just get something first. Immediately they got back, in the second half, and Reece James got it. That is a very, very good one for Reece James. Now let's talk about the next thing. It was a brilliant team talk for Enzo Maresca. I don't know what Enzo Maresca said to these players in the second half, but what I saw in the second half was what I expected from the onset, was what I expected from the first half, and they did what Enzo Maresca asked them to do. I don't know what he said, but you could see the pressure, you could see the movement, you could see the duels won, you could see everything that they needed to have done in the first half that they didn't do, and they did it in the second half. Now for Garnacho. It's not looking like Garnacho impacts the game more from the bench than when he starts game, because majority of everything, so look at what happened in the first half. He ran the ball off the pitch twice, so he was not giving enough in the first half. The second half as well, he had so many chances, he had so much balls for him to execute, take shots or whatever. Yes, he did, but most of the time he's always going over. I would not say, I'm not blaming him for anything today. When it comes to his work rate, he was very, very good. When it comes to him, being visible to receive play, he was there, right? But executing your chances, try scoring goals. Yes, he takes some shots, but try to hit targets. He's not getting that. He lost so many chances today. Chelsea would have at least pick up a 3-2 victory, today. So many chances were lost for Garnacho, and he has to improve that in this game. Now for the referee. The referee was booking everybody for fun. The referee was taking it as if he was sharing Christmas gifts. It was too much. 6-3 on, is it 6 or 7-3 on yellow card? It was too much, today. But I don't know what the referee was on. I don't know if it was on steroid or something, but it was too much. But that being said, to me, it was a positive point from Chelsea, knowing fully well on how Chelsea had to fight back from a 2-goal down, to pick up, a point. To me, I think it was a good result, because I know how difficult it is to go over to play at Newcastle. Teams hardly get points there. Big teams rather hardly get points there. But it is what it is. Let me know what you think concerning this game, and share your thoughts in the comment section. If you're new to this channel, hit the like button, subscribe to this channel, hit the notification bell. So I come your way again next time. I remain your boy Mike Way. Stay cool. Cheers.